What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. Yes, my daughter started a live stream yesterday. I wasn't at home. I had no idea until one of my friends texted me about it. And, yes, that was her very first live stream. You got to hear her yell a little bit. I took the live stream down. I'm not embarrassed of it. I think it's actually really cute, but I think I don't even know how that happened, man. I just need to close down my streaming software before I leave the house. Apparently, here we are at about $63,000 right now with 10 hours and 11 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get into it, you guys. Okay, it's the 24th day of February, and we are moving down exactly as expected. Right, this is exactly what we've been forecasting now for probably about 2 weeks, like since we were up here at this high point. Right, we were talking about how a lot of people back here were probably really excited and expecting this pace to continue because we had 2 days back to back that were greater than 10%. But I was saying that that pace likely doesn't persist. We'll likely move slower, like we did here, and in that time also probably see a lower low. That's the overall expectation. Now, what I will say is that it is possible that here, right here, at the low that we have today, and even at 61.4K or anywhere in between those two areas, that could be the low. We don't have to go below this low. I'm still of the mind that we do go below this low, that we do find support somewhere around 58.8K to 53.6K. I think that this move is incomplete, but let's see if we can validate that on the 1 hour time frame. Should we be expecting a bounce here? Is there a reason to expect a bounce here? Even if we do bounce here, does that mean that the low is in? Because absolutely not. It does not. It just depends on how hard we bounce. If we bounce from here, we find resistance at the golden ratio at like 64.5K. That's bearish. We find support here and we come all the way up here and we find resistance. We get back below the golden ratio. That's bearish. If we can find support here and go all the way up to the 236 and break above it, hopefully, that's bullish. If you're listening, you might have just heard, so what? If we do anything besides go all the way back up here, it's bearish. Pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. Until we get a higher high, yeah, pretty much, exactly. It's exactly the thought, yeah. Let's see. Looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, if we're looking at this here, you are moving down with a lot of volume in excess all at once there. That's some insider knowledge pushing the market down, right? Gave you a second chance to sell here. If you took it, good. If you didn't, whatever. Volume picked up as we started to move down, but it's dying off as we are slowly moving down. So again, I think expecting a little support here wouldn't be too crazy. Don't get excited, right? Don't get excited if we find support. Look at how many downtrends we broke out of. We broke out of 1, 2 downtrends, guys. We broke out of them bullishly too. And guess what? We still went lower. We still went lower. So what I'm saying here is if we break out of this to the upside, oh my goodness, who cares, right? That's all I'm saying, because it's just a lower high in a sequence of lower highs and lower lows that we've had. That's all, right? Remember, everybody who is calling this a pennant, it's not really looking like a pennant now, is it? And you could argue that we're doing the breakout move right now. I don't think we are. I think, again, this isn't a pennant. This is overall some double bottom pattern that has just yet to form. That's all it is. Looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, good little volatility down here at the lows. These are looking a little bit more like bottoming candles, I would say. I say bottoming candles. I should say like relative low candles, right? A little bit of bullish divergence there on the RSI. That's nice to see. It's nice and not nice. It's nice because you have it. It's not nice that you rejected the oversold zone. That's not good. But we're on the 1 hour time frame, so even if that rejection means that we go lower, we probably don't go too much lower. A little bit of, I don't know, is that bullish divergence on the MACD? I don't think so. A little bit of bullish divergence on the stochastics. Yeah, I could see us moving up from here. If we were to move lower, again, my thoughts are we probably don't immediately, at least immediately, we probably don't go below 61.4K. I very much do expect we'll get there. Again, the target area is like 58.8K to 53.6K. That's my target area, and I will be calling for that every single day until we get to that target area. Then we can talk about other things. Then we can talk about the next step, which will be moving higher. But it is possible before we move up from here, we get our next lower high, wherever it might be. It is possible that we find support right here, or that we do go a little bit lower, but I doubt that we go below 61.4K before we interact with 64.5K or higher prices first. So a little volatility here. We'll probably back test prior areas of support for resistance and come back down, or again, just back test that golden ratio for resistance and come back down one way or the other. It's not that you can't drop in a straight line, it's just typically that's not what happens. 4 hour time frame, looking at this here, I'll delete the fib. Yeah, the RSI is bad. The stochastics are bad. And the MACD, man, just disappointing. Very disappointing. Yeah, expecting lower. I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point. And again, it seemed super, super, super obvious. I made a post about this on X.com yesterday. I want to talk about it now. It seemed super, super obvious. People could say it with confidence in their chest. People were beating their hearts, letting you know that, guys, hey, this is a generational opportunity to buy Bitcoin. And it is. Anybody who buys at 70K, you know, in the long term, you're not going to be upset. Just like the people who bought at 30K last cycle in the bear market, they're not upset, you know, even though it did drop to 15K overall, you know. All I'm saying here is it's really easy to be bullish here because it's really obvious, very obvious, that we are at a relative low point of this overall move down. Relatively good time to buy, of course. Of course it is. That doesn't change when the price is down here. This was still a good price to buy. That's objective. But if you bought here, or you bought any cryptos here, and then on this lower low you panic sell, or on this drop you panic sell, guess what? That's the bad move. That's you are putty in their hands, and it's probably exactly what's going to happen. What it's going to take for the prices to move above these prices. Mark my words, Bitcoin, before it goes below 50K, before it probably even goes below like 55K, we'll likely see prices that are above 75K. We are going to see prices that are above this at some point pretty soon, probably in March, if not April. But first we go lower. We shake out the obvious bull buyers here, the ones who think it's so obvious. It's like, okay, if it's obvious, we're going to test your faith. If your faith is strong, you will prevail. If it's weak, well, you bought the high relatively and you sold the low relatively. And maybe next time we'll think about what seems obvious. If we're looking at this on the 4 hour time frame again, I think we've already actually gone over everything on the 4 hour that we need to. The daily time frame, well, we just got oversold on the daily RSI and the stochastics. MACD is about to cross down. Yeah, we're almost there, guys. This is that final leg, though. And again, just closing thoughts. We probably, keyword there, probably, we experienced some volatility, and this is what I would expect. I'd expect we either go up to the golden ratio, which is about 64.4, 64.3K, find resistance there or thereabouts. We can go a little bit higher, whatever, I don't care. Thereabouts, and then we proceed lower. This could all happen by the end of the day, that we move up here and then we move down. It could take 2 days. It could take a half day. Maybe we move up a little faster and then we start to move down and we're back here by the end of the day. I don't know. Or option two, we do go a little bit higher. We find resistance somewhere in this area or maybe even a little bit above there. But the bearish moniker, the mark of bearishness, will be when we get back below the golden ratio. So one of two things that we're looking for to suggest that we are continuing to lower prices, and probably prices below 60K. The one of two things that we're looking for to suggest, it could be this or it could be that, is a rejection off the golden ratio, or if you get above, once you get back below. At that point there, when you get back below, that means down we go. And that doesn't necessarily mean that once we get below the golden ratio, we have to drop like a fly. It just means, statistically speaking, if we do this and we come back below this point here, statistically speaking, from what we've done already, we will likely go below 60K. If we reject the golden ratio right off the bat and come back down to lower lows, statistically speaking, we will go below 60K. If we can get above the 236 all the way up at about 69K, that's the low. That's it. I will be the whole way up calling for lower lows. And if I'm proven wrong, that's the point at which I will stop calling for lower lows. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. All right. Bye-bye.